Right, hello. Time for some more Godot game dev. Let's swap over the scene. Let's go there, there, and there. Just remembering all the keyboard shortcuts I've now set up for OBS. Audio sounds good, that's fine. Needs to turn it down a little bit on my end. And then we do want to shuffle this. Yeah, let's just go straight into the shuffle. Is that going to change it or not? Yeah, there we go. Having a little think about it. Go on YouTube Music. So, where did we get it to last time? I think that should start in a second. We had a little look at... We were changing how our game setup was working. So these buttons here to draft units into the game are now hooked up. So 232. So we've got 2 inventory that we can place. We can't place any more. We've got 3 this. We can't place any more. A mushroom. We selected 2. Now the issue I was running into was deselecting and reselecting. So at the moment that's fine, but if we put them on the same square, they stack up, which they shouldn't be able to do. So we're going to have to consider how that's working. But I think the main thing is that this placed units dictionary isn't working as expected. So I'm going to have to refactor that. I think the thing that's not working is removing entries in the placed units. I think this erase function, for the dictionary, isn't working as I'm interpreting it. So we're going to maybe shift away from that and do something different instead, rather than digging into the dictionary documentation again, because I feel like there's some bug happening here that really isn't worth the time to fix, considering instead of a dictionary we can just use an array that keeps track of all of the map cells. So if we do it that way, keep track of all the map cells and what status they have, then that will be a better way of keeping track. So yeah, that's where we got up to. As usual, we're going to do a few dailies just to wake the brain up. Hopefully that'll help us focus when we get onto the coding bit. So starting with hashtag, which is Wordle in 4 ways. You get given all the letters. Greens are in the correct place. Yellows are in the word, so in the correct row or column. But obviously where the words cross over, this R, for instance, could be in the vertical word or in the horizontal word. So normally the best bet that I go for is look at the vowels. We've got 4 vowels only. Yeah. So it's likely we need to spread them out a bit. But having 2 vowels on the crossroads kind of makes that a bit different. So every word already has a vowel in now. It's likely that this A goes to where the R is. So we're probably swapping these 2 around. This word could be sewer. We've got extra R, we've got another E to place, which would give a good location for that E there. This S isn't here, could be at the end, most likely at the start. But where would you put W? There's 2 W's? Unlikely. Yeah, if we're not starting with W, ending with W is a bit odd, but W second to last I think is even more odd. Oh, W can't be second to last because otherwise this would be yellow. Because if this was a W, then that means there is a W in this vertical second word. So this W would be counted as a letter in the word but in the wrong spot, so it would be yellow. So we know that W has to either be in the third or fifth position of this horizontal word, which means, yeah, it's got to be sewer. So is this N going here or here? Well, this E and S should swap. That should be easy. So either this R and this N swap or this R and this N swap. Let's see what else we can figure out. This word could be wares. W-A-R-E-S. And then this could be lover going this way, which would leave F, G, and N. Something A, something O. We've got two N's. Where are we using those? They both have to be in the horizontal? No, it could be in this vertical. I think we're safe swapping these two. Yep. Okay, what could this start with? It's only Gares, Fairs, Nares. No, it has to be the W. It's not the W. What else? Lares? Is that Gares, Fairs, Bears? Rares? It could be rares. Didn't think about the R. But surely this has got to be the R. Let's swap this. So this is going to be wagon. Oh, fairs, yeah. So wagon, fairs. We've got no slots left. And novel, not lover. Okay, not too bad. So we'll take these words into Betweenle, which is Wordle in alphabetical order, basically. So fairs, then novel, sewer, wagon. We might start with wagon because it's closer to the end of one of the dictionaries. So it shouldn't eliminate as much. Oh, it's very close to wagon. Okay, so we can do the others from the opposite side. So fairs. What was it? Novel and sewer. So this is just to make it a bit harder. We get a decent idea of where we're going. We're going to go probably a V word. So basically what these numbers here are saying, percentage-wise of a full dictionary, how much further away from the words are you going? So you have all of the 5-letter words in alphabetical order. There's 18% of a dictionary between the word sewer and the word we're trying to guess, and then there's 1.2% between the word we're trying to guess and wagon. So either we're looking at a very early W, like wacky, or we're looking at a V. We can do like can't do vulgar, we can't do, let's go voter. Okay, so maybe we're at the start of V? No, somewhere in V. Virus? We're getting pretty close here. B, E, verge. Narrowing it down again. Probably late. It's not going to be a word that ends in S, but it's not going to be a plural, I mean. But vials is quite useful to split the difference between these two words. Let's see where we go. Okay, slightly after vials. The vi Viat, vias, via. Can't see anything around this. Might be, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. So if we're after A, vibes, that's got to be still in front of the word that we're looking for, I guess. Yeah. Oh, it's literally the next word in the dictionary. Vicar. There we go. Nice, we got there. And then we'll use this as our starting word for Wordle. Okay. Oh, I and R in the correct positions. That's quite nice. Maybe something ER. Let's try fixer. It's not really useful letters, but oh, fiber. Lovely. All greens today. Right, travel Western Sahara to Georgia. This is probably my weakest part of geography. Mali is not correct. What's in between? Mauritania. We can go this way. Let's try and get up to Libya then. Algiers? Algeria, even? Should have gone straight for that, yep. So then Egypt. Oh. I think we have to use Israel. And then going north, we're going to go Syria. Turkey. And there we go. Nice. So a bit messed up there. We could have gone Morocco first, I guess. Yeah. So Morocco, Algeria. And then we would have had the best route. That's not too bad. Should we do connections next? Provoke, soap, nettle, candle, insult, incense, inspire, madden, jellyfish, civilization, prompt, lotion, Halo, Generate, Wasp, and Metroid. Okay, maybe we've got games here. Like Halo, Civilization, Metro, and Madden. Metroid, Madden. Let's go for that. Yep. Okay, incense, soap, candle, and lotion. Things that can be scented. Nothing else looks like it fits that. Things that can sting. And an insult can sting as well, yeah. And prompts. God, we're stalling through these today. Bring about. Nice. That just means that one of these three remaining ones is going to be a nightmare. Right, let's do word salad because the timer starts as soon as we click on it. Yeah, as long as it loads, that is. Come on. Okay, storage spaces. So we're trying to make up words. You can connect in like any kind of different direction. You can go back over yourself, that kind of stuff, as long as it's neighboring letters. So you can go like stuff like this. Obviously, that's not a correct guess. The answers are these 6 different words. The numbers tell you how many letters in the word, and the order of these is alphabetical. So storage, like cupboard, is too long. Storage spaces, a shelf. Shelf? No. Storage spaces. So normally once you get 1 or 2, it starts making it easier because letters get removed based on if they're still in future answers. So the grid gets smaller as you guess. Storage spaces. Can't do museum. Oh yeah, we can. There we go. It's going from the wrong M. Okay, so we've got 2 alphabetically after museum and 3 before. So it could start O, T, S for these last 2. So storage. Storage storage test? That doesn't sound right. If we started with this T, we'd have to go to the A. None of these other letters work. That doesn't seem to be good. T-A-S. No. T-A-F? Tafts? No. So I don't think we can start with this T. Start with the S. S-T. Staff, I don't think is a word. Still? What about with this T? Tice? Maybe we start with the O? Storage. Not seeing any of these. Storage spaces. What else is like a museum? Place to store art. Can we have... I'm really not seeing anything here. Storage. Storage chest, there we go. So something alphabetically before chest. I want case, but I don't see any way to make that. CH. I think we have to start with the A for the first answer. This 5 here. Attic. Nice, okay. So between chest and museum, or after museum. So we can't start with the A anymore. So what would we use the A here? The safe. There we go. A silo. And a hold. Well, not too bad. But got stuck a little bit there. Right, Strands, turn it up a notch. We're looking for 8 words in this dictionary. So in this grid, sorry. Similar to word salad, apart from you can't cross back over yourself. I don't think you're allowed to do this kind of movement. I've never seen it in any of the answers. Looks like we got pizza there, but I don't think that's going to be a word. for this. But we might as well put it in for the grid. Pizzazz? Can we do pizzazz? Yeah, there we go. Turn it up a notch. Give it some zing. So one of the theme words is this spangram that can be 1 or 2 words that goes from one side of the grid to the other. It has to touch both sides of the grid. It doesn't have to start or end on the edge, but it has to touch both sides. And it has to be like 2 opposite sides. So either top and bottom or left or right. So turn it up a notch. Fizz. Okay, so we're going to have a top to bottom spangram. We've got ing ending here. So exciting. Can we get exciting? No. Bit of kick. Kick is a good one. Extra something. Extra. Not sure where that's going on to. I reckon our spangram is extra something. So where are we going with this VEH? And what's happened to our music? Are we still going? Yeah. It's just a bit of a quiet between. Spark. 3 more. So extra something ending in ing. Looks like soothing. But that doesn't make sense in terms of turn it up a notch, does it? Extra soothing. But yeah, that would leave MET. And it's got to be at least 4 letters to count as an answer. So what's here? Hoot. Extra. Turn it up a notch. What else we got? Kick, zing, fizz, pizzazz, spark. Free. Verve. Okay. So X. We've got an ending of PH here. MPH? What's that word? Oomph. It's just oomph, isn't it? Oh, double O. Extra something. Does there have to be something extra? We can't go it that way around. Is it just extra something? That's a bit of a weird spangram in my opinion. We got there. Extra something. Oomph and verve. Okay. And we're going to finish with the mini crossword. Nothing too special about the rules for this. Let's go. Lawyer's assignment is a case. I'm out of here. See ya, could be. Something like that. Be a nuisance to a noise. Maybe. Netflix. Popstar Grand Ariana. There we go. Awaits the final judgment. Awaits final judgment. We'll come back to that. On the boundaries of acceptable behaviour. Let's come back to that as well. Taylor Swift, her signature on her endorsement of Kamala Harris. Kamala. Come back to that as well. Okay, so we've got both of these words wrong. Athens is the capital of Greece. So that's why we're having a bit of trouble with some of these. Let's get rid of all of these letters. Also, okay. Right, okay, so we got C on this one, I think. That might be wrong as well. Makes a mistake is ers. Okay, so this is going to be later. Ooh. Oh, this was Cat Lady, wasn't it? Taylor Swift. Lady. What's this one? Be a nuisance to bother. Netflix. I'm going to come back to that one. Cracking up to a texter. Lolling? Maybe? Totally uninterested in a lecture. Bored. So edgy is going to be the last one. Using vape. Volleys. Okay, yep. Netflix. Very good. And what was this one? Awaits final judgment. Pens. So C was correct, but it was to the wrong clue of I'm out of here. Nice, not bad. So, back to some Godot. So I think what we're going to do, in terms of having this placed units dictionary, I think we are going to swap over to an array. Yeah, we're going to have to do it like this. So I kind of want it to be it has to be a 2D array because this is going to represent our grid. Actually, even not even placed units. This is going to be grid status, maybe, let's say. So in ready, we want to clear out our grid status. So clear grid. See that. And then we need a function which is going to be clear grid. Oh, clear grid. And all this is going to do is say grid status is equal to an empty grid. Empty array. That's it. And you need a colon here. And really that's going to be part of our reset as well. So let's do that here. Actually, we just call clear grid because this might be a different, we might have other bits of this function. And even better, we could clear grid. Maybe we call reset rather than clear grid here. Shouldn't be any reason not to. It sets all the allowed units to 0. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is we want to create our grid. So before we're even drafting units, oh no, this is going to be after drafting units, because the map selection happens at the same time as drafting and dismissing units. So in between these two, we're going to want a function of create grid. And this will have to use our values of map size, which I kind of want to split. Yeah, let's do that. Var map rows, we're just going to set to 0, and var map columns, which also is going to be set to 0. And then when we set our map size, which is being set where? Oh, we're not setting it correctly in here. We need to find out where that's being set, and we'll make a new in our lobby. Yeah, we need to make a function for this. So rather than setting, same with this. To set map size. Okay, so we go back to our game state. Let's do a function set map. And this needs to pass in. I'm going to probably say a map ID here, which is going to be an int. And we want to return a bool, just to say whether it worked or not. So return false is just our default state. And then here we're going to say if map ID exists, actually let's just write it rather than doing it pseudocode. If map ID let's do here a map list const map list equals actually that's fine as well. So we're going to want to do something like vector 2i maybe we want these to be names of maps. I think we probably want these to be names of maps. So let's do this as like a default map. 8x8. And let's do some variation here so we know an easy way to tell these apart. Large map, which we're going to do as a 9x9. We'll probably get rid of the 10x10 grid here. Let's do like a tool map, which is going to be, is it rows first or columns first? How are we doing these normally? Columns first, then row, looks like. So tool map would be fewer columns but more rows. Let's do like a 4x10. And then we can do like a short map just to test out these variations, which we'll do a 10x4. Okay, and then we're going to want more info about each of those maps. So maybe this is more than just an array of strings. Maybe this is a dictionary. I think this one can be a dictionary because we're not going to change it. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of thinking out loud, but so if we say like a default map, and we can do like this, and we say rows 8, cols 8, and we just do an array like that. So it's just a big dictionary like this. And is it better to do it? Let's do it like this. So we've got four maps to start with. So large map 9 by 9, you're next. We're probably going to come up with different indexing for this rather than how we're doing here, but it's just going to be temporary. See what happens. We'll do our short map here. And get rid of these. And make sure these values are correct. So tool map is going to be 10 rows, 4 columns. Helps if we've got them the right around. And this will be 4 rows, 10 columns. Expected colon after dictionary key. What? Oh, really? Because of that? I'm not sure that's right. Why is it saying that error? Put columns first. Shouldn't be because of trailing commas. That's standard. Yeah, expected closing after dictionary arguments. Expected colon after dictionary key. Why? We're doing this. We're calling it map data. Oh, do I need to do colon equals here? We've opened an extra one somewhere, haven't we? Yeah. Doing all of these wrong. That should be better. There we go. That's if you got the right number of brackets. Okay, so we're going to pass in a map ID if map list map ID. Wait, we want to say has. Dot has. Where are we doing dot has? Let me just see how we did it before. Place unit has back to, so this is the dictionary key. So we're going to say, maybe we pass in the map name then. So map name string. So it has map name. Then what we need to do is we need to set our map rows and map columns. Map rows equals map list, map name, dot rows. Map cols equals the same, dot cols. Let's do that. And now we need to return here true. And then when we call create grid, we want to take our grid status and we're going to set it to how do we fill an array? It's got to be an easy ed script initialize array. Let's have a look at the array documentation. So what we want to do is we want to populate an array with rows and columns based on the row and column cell. And we probably just want to do a for loop through it, right? Array int, array float. All of these arrays dynamically sized. Can we give it an array size? Array 1. No, that's the item at entry. Sequence numbers, negative indices. Packed arrays generally faster to iterate on. What is the difference? Packed int 64 array. Also, packed arrays consume less memory. They are less flexible as they don't offer many conveniences such as map. Typed arrays are intended faster to iterate on and modify than untyped arrays. What's a packed array? Packed array of strings. An array specifically designed to hold strings, packed data tightly, so this saves memory for large array sizes. But to join the strings, use string.join. I don't think we want to store these as strings though. We want a what size string does Godot use? Does it have a set string length that it allocates? So we can probably store a string as a would a byte be enough information? 8. So we need some way to represent different unit types. Let's say there were 8 different unit types. So to represent that in bits, we would have just need 4 bits, right? 0, 1, 2, 4, and that'll give you 0 to 7. And And that would leave 4 bits to represent state, which could be 1 bit for player 1 or player 2, 1 bit for map, like obstacle, in which case if it's an obstacle you could ignore, actually you could re-encode the last few bits if you know it's an obstacle rather than a unit. Just thinking maybe we can go into Obsidian, but I'll come back to that. We'll have a think about it first. Maybe we try it with a packed byte array to start with, and we extend to a packed int when we know. So packed byte array. Expected expression after this. What's it expecting here? Packed arrays are always passed by reference to get a copy of an array that can be modified independently of the original array's duplicate. It's not the case with built-in properties and methods. The returned packed array of these are copies. Changing these do not affect the original value. We kind of want to affect the original value, I think. To update a built-in property, you need to, yeah, okay, that's fine. Adds an element to the end of the array. Option, you can pass a generic array that will be converted. Clear. Okay, we can just clear. But how do we declare it? Was that in the previous array? Array creates a typed array from the base array. Typed array can only contain elements of a given type. Type is the variant type. Just want to see an example. Declare packed byte array GD script. Let's just have a try. Yeah, helps if I can spell declare. Show me an example somewhere. See how people use it. Don't really want to go into Git for this. How to convert activate. Let's try these two. Byte to array that return it as a packed byte array. Seems to be no complementary that turns it back. Packed byte array has methods that will convert it into float and into arrays, but nothing string. Oh, right, okay, so we're just doing... So grid status up here. We can say is a type packed byte array. Okay, right. Can I do a 2D packed byte array? Is that even a question to ask properly? 2D packed byte array. Two-dimension. Hey Zimni, how's it going? Been playing a bit more Domekeeper. Found out any more secrets, or are you only playing when you're online? Oh right, okay, nice. I wasn't sure if you're doing some secret research offline. It's good. I'm kind of going in circles a little bit with dictionaries. So I'm moving away from what I was using as a dictionary into looking into packed byte arrays. Turns out supplement to resource packing is broken. Oh no. Oh, because it's with the upgrade it brings the recharge time down too long. Down too short, right? The you ran into earlier. Because when you first unlocked it, it's 30 seconds, and then it goes down to like nothing. There might be a decimal place or something that's been missed. Hmm. Oh, really? Well, yeah, I guess if the recharge time is so short, you never need more charges because it's just always available. Yeah, that's so broken. Yeah, I don't know. In Godot, have you ever used the erase method on a dictionary key? Because it's doing something weird. Or I haven't really got it in a place where I can demonstrate. But my issue was I was populating a dictionary with like grid locations of units. So as the player selects where they want their units to be placed, it would add a new key into the dictionary and add a value to say like what unit was put there. And what I was trying to do is when you click on a placed unit, you can remove it and replace it somewhere else. So I was trying to say, erase the key that is corresponding to that cell. And it's definitely passing. It was definitely passing the correct key into this erase function. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit, wait, let me zoom in a bit. Oh, so having to think about it. Yeah, so this was the cell of the grid that the unit was being removed from, but the erase function was always, yeah, they were vector 2 units before. I've changed it to string since, so it's not the easiest thing to show. But yeah, all it was doing was it was erasing the last value of the dictionary. So if I called, for example, on this dictionary, if I called erase of the string C7R7, rather than erasing this key out of the dictionary, it would erase C4R6. And then it would shift around things and all that kind of stuff. And it was being an absolute nightmare. So I think I'm going to try using a packed array instead. Change a vector or number to string that might be around. Yeah, no, so this was even happening if I was just passing in a string. Actually, I guess I could test that. I could hard code an erase and see if that works on a certain string value. But yeah, the big issue I was getting was this was just always erasing the most recently entered key, regardless of what value I was passing in. But I'm gonna try out this packed array idea, and then might come back to that. Actually, I could just let me just do a pass there. Let me comment this out. We'll see if we can get it attempted again. So we need our dictionary again, which is placed units, which is just an empty dictionary. Cannot find string. Oh, capital S. There we go. So rather than this line here, we want a that's to our unit cell. Wait, how was I doing this? I feel like I've already replaced quite a lot of the way it was working, so it might be annoying to do. Actually, no, we just have it as unit cell. And when we handle removed units, yeah, let's see if that works. Let me just relaunch that. And then if we set this as an erase for a fixed value that we know is a unit that we've picked, maybe we can see what happens with that. Wait, this is not going to work. I need this to be our dictionary key for the moment. Vector2 I cannot be assigned to a variable type string. The row and column are ints, I thought. Yeah, they're ints. That's int. Oh, because dictionary key. Where have we assigned that? Here. Let's just not give it a type for the moment. Okay, let's see if that. I think that might be back to how I was testing it before. Who knows? Seems to have launched. Right. So we're saying let's put some items in. We do this. So if we look at our dictionary placed units, no placed units so far. If we place an infantry here, we get this vector 2i of column 2, because it's 0 index, 0, 1 and 2, and row 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks correct. And then another one at like 6, 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, and 7. So if we then try and remove, which if we just hard code it instead. So don't care about any of this. Kind of do. Let's just say we try and do place units dot erase vector 2i 2, 6. Make sure it's exactly the same. Placed units, not place units. And if we return, that should say true or false if we accurately remove it. So now if we click on either unit, it should remove the 2, 6. This is my issue. It's always removing the final key rather than the key that's being called. So let's say place units dot has vector 2i. So it could be a case that this is making a new placed units. What is it? This could be making a new vector 2, and because maybe it's not comparing correctly. So let's print this, see if that works. So we place a unit, that's fine. We try and remove it. False. Yeah, that might be. But I'm sure when I was doing it as strings as well, it wasn't liking that. So let's swap back to the string. Yes. So if we say this has column 2, row 6 as a string. Because they're always going to be ints. And maybe, I'm just thinking, have I got vector 2i incorrect? 2D vector using integer coordinates. Yeah, so just to make it easier to compare. Because they're always integer values rather than like potentially floats or other values. So if I try doing that, let's restart. Yeah, right, yeah, fair enough. No, I'm trying to keep it simple. So let's say we've got 3 inventory, 2 and 1. And then let's have a look at our current game state dictionary. And this is the one we want. No, 2, 6, which is this cell. And then we placed another one. So we've got column 2, row 5. We've got column 2, row 6. And we've got column 6, row 5. Now, I've hard-coded it to say remove column 2, row 6. So it should remove the middle entry there, regardless of which one I click on. But it doesn't. Even though it said it matches. So it said it has this true here is saying, yes, it does have the value C2R6. And we told it to erase the key C2R6, but it erased the wrong string. It always erases the last entry in the dictionary. So like, let's say I put other units in. Oh wait, it's not removing properly, but that's fine. It still show here. So if I click to remove a unit, I've hard coded. It should be the key. I'm fairly certain when we're looking at this. Yeah, erase key variant removes the dictionary entry by key if it exists, and it returns true if the given key existed in the dictionary, otherwise false. So actually what we can do, can show that it's working, because it's already returning. So if it returns false, we get an error message to say it didn't work properly. So yeah, here it should take, it's a variant. So whatever your key is, which is the key here, is what should be passed in. And it's returning true. But if I click here, wait, it's saying it doesn't exist in the dictionary. Is this showing me an incorrect version of the dictionary? So I haven't got erased anywhere else. It's just in those 2 lines where we're just looking. But I found that weird there, that it's saying it doesn't exist in the dictionary. Wait, did it move it? Did it? Wait, 1 second. Let me just rebuild that. I want to double check. Because I think what I accidentally did was, let's do loads of these. Let's just do 10 inventory. So we've got our dictionary here. This is the placed units dictionary. And we're going to make sure we put something in 2.6, which was this one. Yeah. So that's the key that we want to, that we're hard coding in. We're hard coding C2R6. Now, if I add in other units in this dictionary and then click to remove any of the units, it should say true because key C2R6 is in the dictionary. Oh wait, I'm still placing units. Wait. Okay, out of units. So if I click on a unit it will say true because C2R6 is in the dictionary, but it deletes the last entry rather than the C2R6 value. But it then says that key doesn't exist in the dictionary, even though I can see it there. Oh. The inspector has a bug. I think the inspector's bugged. Because it has removed the correct key, but what it's showing is the keys here doesn't get updated correctly when you do an erase. Right? That's not just me, right? There was C2R6 here at the top. And now that I've closed and reopened the inspector, it's actually got the correct keys that are still in the dictionary. Oh god, this is giving me such a headache. Like the last 3 streams I've been trying to work out what's happening. that wasn't just me, right? Let's just double check this. In which case, we'll remove the hard coding and see if that works still. And then actually we might go back to the Vector 2 version and see if that works as well. At least I know that I'm not misunderstanding what should be happening here. Right, so we've got to make sure in our dictionary here, 2.6, which is this one, no, this one, is in our dictionary. Let's add in other units to fill up our dictionary. And then we remove 1, which is hard-coded as 2.6, right? 2.6 is still there. But if we click off and reopen the dictionary, 2.6 is not there. So whatever's driving the inspector panel is basically treating erase as remove the last entry, even though the code is actually doing it correctly under the surface. So that's an inspector bug. Okay. I wasn't going insane. I kind of wish I kind of wish I'd found that earlier. I mean, I might still go around. I might still go down this route of doing a packed byte array because I like the idea of that. But it's good to know that the code was correct all along. Oh god. I think I've got to take a little break after that. So maybe we can go back to our vector 2i. Which is, I think, better to store than a string. Maybe. I don't know how much memory is allocated to a string. I shouldn't, yeah, I'm delving too far down a rabbit hole there. Shouldn't be worried about code optimization at this point. We're just getting code working. Oh god. Right. So it's simpler to read this than the vector 2i, because this is clearly saying column 2, row 7. Whereas the vector 2 is 2 numbers, and if you're not used to the order of being x being the column indicator and y being the row indicator of our grid, this is easier to read in my mind. So actually stick with the, we're going to stick with the string for the key. And we're going to bring all of this back. I'm going to get rid of these. Okay, we need to remember where we were with all of this. Let's just tidy this up before we take our first little stream break. A little stretch. So we have a placed units dictionary, which when we place a unit, we don't care about this vector 2i, that can go. We're creating a string. Get rid of this row as well. The string is then used as the key, and we enter in as the value for that key is the name of the unit that gets placed. That's fine. And then when a unit is removed, we convert the X and Y coordinates into the string that matches. We then check that there was one of those units placed. So we're looking at the unit registry just to confirm that the unit value that's in the cell that we're targeting actually existed, and we remove one of those from the placed unit registry. And then rather than this, which I was doing as temporary, which is just clearing the value, we can now go back to doing return placed units dictionary key. No, dot erase dictionary key. And we don't need to return true. That will return true if there is a key that matches. That will be correct. And it will return false in all other instances, which will throw an error just into our output. Oh god. Right, let's test that, confirm that works, save the project, and then we'll take a quick 2 or 3 minute break, something like that. And hopefully that all works. So let's rerun this, and just remember that we've got to reload the inspector each time we remove a unit, just to make sure that the dictionary is keeping up to date correctly. So let's do 3 of each. That will keep that dictionary correct. So when you place a new unit, because it's just adding, it's treating it a bit like a snack, isn't it? It's adding a new item in. So we'll do 3 infantry units. We'll do 3 bush and 3 mushroom. Right, infantry, 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 bush, 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 mushroom, mushroom, mushroom. Right, that all looks good. And now, if we click on this cell, which is going to be column 6, row 5, which is this first entry in the dictionary, even though that cell still says it's there in the key, it has removed 1 infantry unit, which is correct. If we click off and then click back on, these cells should now have realigned as though it had removed the right key. So let's just double check. We've got column 4, row 6, yes. Column 1, row 5, yes. Column 1, row 7, yes. Column 3, row 5. Column 6, row 7. This is looking good. Column 3, row 7. Is this one, sorry. Oh wait, no. Column 7, row 6 is this one. Column 3, row 7 is this one, and column 2, row 6 is this one. That all looks correct. So now if we add, we should be able to click on the same spot that we have removed, which was here, to add a new infantry, column 6, row 5, at the end of the list. So let's remove this one, which is column 1, row 7, this third entry in the key. So then it will go infantry, infantry, bush, bush, mushroom. If we remove this, which is correct. Keys are wrong, but if we reload the inspector, keys are now correct again. It was an inspector bug all along. Right, okay. Is there bug reporting somewhere? Probably worth letting people know. Yeah. Definitely how I'm feeling. God, I thought I was just like, there's something extra confusing going on here that I've got no idea what's happening. I'm going to make a note to look at like bug reporting to, Godot. It might be intended, behavior, because I did notice in the docs when you look at the dictionary, erase, it's saying don't erase entries when iterating over the dictionary. You can iterate over keys in the array instead. Sorry, the keys array. So it could be that the inspector is showing these values by iterating over keys in the array, in which case it would handle the erase wrong. But it is indicated here. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thanks for the lurk, and good luck on the runs. I'm gonna do a quick break here anyway. I need to reset after that. Let's do a little 3-minute. Be right back. But yeah, I'm glad we got that working. Alright, back in a few minutes. I'm going to get coffee and do a stretch. Please do too. See you in a sec. I don't know how that's happened. I shouldn't have reset to that. Let's do this, and we're back. Let's make a quick note. That looks like the timer resets at the end. Reset on, which one was that? That was on our Be Right Back timer, countdown timer. Down. Cool. Okay. So we've got this back working now. I wonder if it's quickly worth looking at. Is there bug reporting? Community. Contributing. Godot bug reports. Should have expected there to be a lot of bug reports open, considering it's all open source. I wonder if the bug's already there. Let's look for inspector and dictionary. It's 50 errors. And a race we probably want to check for. See if anything enclosed. Methods, property signals. Resources treating all variables at export, no. I think I'm going to leave this open and figure out if I want it, if it's good to do a bug report or not on this. Yeah, okay. We're going to leave that. We'll figure out if we want to do a bug report. I think it's useful too, but I don't want to start opening issues if, well, it looks like if there's that many issues already there, there's no big issue about opening new ones. Cool, okay. So let's close some of these bits here. So the main thing here is our inspector window is not updating correctly, but maybe it's going to be useful to still do a placed units dictionary and also have a grid status tracker. Because even though it's going to use a bit more memory, very minimal amounts of memory. It's like a dictionary of strings, but we can then use it for error cross-checking. So I think actually we're going to keep both. I think we can get rid of map size. Oh yeah, so this is where we were starting to look at then. we're saying we're going to select our map list instead off of this list. So this should drive our lobby map drop down. So these items here should be driven by this map list, which is similar to what we've done on this. Is it? No, it's not similar to that. Similar to what we've done on our setup drop down, this one. So there's no items in here. So if we look at our setup GUI, we're adding to the drop down this way. So in our lobby, we want to do something similar. So let's copy this into our lobby script. I'm gonna go fill map list drop down. Fill map drop down. Let's do a bar down build false. False. Let's just do very similar to what we did here. Function ready, if not drop down filled, fill drop down. Let's fill map drop down. And then map size selection. This one. And this is going to be map name in map list. Add item map name. Then select 0, we say this we don't want to update anymore. So we want to call this set map function. Which is going to be set map. And it's expecting a name, which is going to be whatever's displayed on this. Which, how have we done that so far? Unit drop down. Unit type selection. Okay. How are we doing that? This one. Emit unit selected index. So we're passing an index in. Can we pass the string instead? Actually, the index would be better. So if we just pass this index, and then we call this map selected. And then the issue here is set map is not expecting an index. So set map here, if we set map index as an int, I guess we would just want to check the map list index, map index, map. Is that gonna work? That's probably not, is it? Because these are not indexed. No, we want to pass the string. No, let's do it properly. Let's do the string. Let's undo all this. That's fine. We go back to this lobby, and rather than passing the index, can we read the value of the drop down? So, let's go here, GD script, read, drop down, text. So, read selected, drop down text, selected. Option button. Let's have a look at the option button. I think that's where we want to look. Yep. Get item text. So this needs to be map size selection. Map size selection. Dot get item text at index. Let's just double check that by printing it out. Let's try that. That should all be fine. No errors. Doesn't look like it. And hopefully this should all work. Okay, we need to clear the original ones here, but map selected, default map 8x8. Tool map. Yeah, cool. Okay. So let's go to our lobby scene and clear out these here. Go on these three and save that. So then if we rerun it, let's just check in our game state remote what values we're getting in our inspector. So yeah, map size, map rows, map columns, those should update based on what map selection we make now, hopefully. Total units 1, that's fine. Map rows 8, map columns 8, because it's on the default map. We select the tool map, 4 columns, 10 rows. 9 by 9, 10 by 4. Good. Don't think it drives the next bit. No. So now we need to figure out the map creation, which so rather than using map size here, we want to map row, map rows, and this one we want map columns. Oh, this would be great. Please let this just work. This should just work. Yes. Ah, this though. Four by 10. It's doing 10 by 4. Because this should be columns then rows. Let's just check that. That's 2i. X is horizontal, Y is vertically. Yeah. That's Y. So hopefully that should fix that. So we go back round. Let's do a short 10 by 4. No. Because I've not clicked save. Hopefully. Let's do, okay, 9 by 9. Yes. 10 by 4. No, 4 by 10 tool. Yep. And 10 by 4 short. Yes, okay. That is now working. Now, the next thing to think about is what is the allowed placements on, for example, a 4 by 10. We can't have units being placed. Why are you not allowing me to place units? Oh, ooh. What's going on there? I bet it's still being driven by map size, isn't it? Let's get rid of map size now and see what breaks, because it's not using that. Something's got to be using that. Let's try running it, see where it breaks, because that's where this is erroring. Yeah, here we go. So this needs to be allowed rows. And we need to make that. So here, var allowed rows equals 0. And in here, we need to have allowed rows. So this should be 5. On 9 by 9 it should be 6. On this, we could probably even do this down to 6. Because we've got less columns, fewer columns. But on 4, just 2 rows. For example, let's see if that works. So on our 4x10 tool, which, oh no, map size doesn't like. Yes, okay, it doesn't like that because these columns are not used anymore, right? This max size is not used now. Okay. Why are we checking setup? Else min rows that. Oh no, these should be driven. Min row is allowed rows. Map size, map rows. And this should be map calls. Okay, and then let's rerun that and see. That should hopefully be correct. So on our standard 8x8, we can only place units in the bottom 3 rows. No. No, okay, that didn't work. So why not? Where are we calling this? On the input. That's fine. Current state is set up. Is it set up? It will be set up, yes. So max row should be... Where's allowed rows? That comes from there. Don't need pass because we're actually doing something. If it's greater than min row is driven by allowed rows, and allowed rows is done on handle setup, which is when the map is called, which is fine. Let's do print allowed rows here. Seems unnecessary to do this though. Now that we're calculating allowed rows ourselves, this should just be allowed rows, I think. Actually, we get rid of this handle setup entirely. Let's call check game phase instead. That'll be good because we can get rid of that. Okay, rebuild. So we select a couple of these. Allowed rows -1. Why is it -1? Game state dot allowed rows. Oh, no, this should be min row that we're checking. Min row is 0. Why is min row is 0? Because when we're selecting, we're not setting this. Where are we setting? Here. We need allowed rows. Helps if you actually set your variables. Map list. Map name dot allowed rows. just allowed rows like that. Map list, map column. That's not going to work, is it? Why am I accessing by dot notation here? Should be this, shouldn't it? I think. Balls, and this should be allowed rows. I don't like using strings access here, but it's just temporary. We will change that in a sec. Well, we'll change it when I get around to it. I don't know what it would be in a second, but yes, see that's still 9 by 9, but where is our selected map? Do we say where it's selected? Set map, map list, map name. No, we're not actually setting the selected, but we'll see. I didn't rebuild. Let's rebuild just to double check. Make sure everything's secure. Okay, start game. 4 by 10 map. We look in our game state. Allowed rows now goes up to 6. That looks promising. So allowed rows is 6. Oh. Gotta make sure we get mouse clicks rather than scrolled. Doesn't help that that's gone off the edge of the screen. Okay. Let me just redo that. Let's do a short map. So allowed rows should only be, I shouldn't be able to place any units these 2 rows or outside the grid. No, none of the clicks being picked up here, but these 2, no. Oh, only the final row. Okay. Oh yes, because this is row 3. Because it's 0 indexed. Okay. So if we do like a 9 by 9, helps if I select units as well. 9 by 9. And let's do 6 units. So allowed row 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should only be the bottom 3 rows. So we do placements. Yeah, okay. That looks correct. Okay. And now if we do the 8 by 8, allowed rows 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should be the bottom 3 again. So we can't place here, we can place here. That looks correct. Okay, so what were we doing wrong? This just allows on a single row at the bottom of the map. That could be okay on a 10 by 4. We don't need to worry too much about balancing that just yet. Yeah, that's okay. Right, so I want to say we are accurately tracking where units are now. So we do 4, 3, 2. Need to get rid of this. What's printing that out? That is in our map. This. And we only care if it's click event. Let's do this in here. So we're not triggering it all the time. So why does the scroll wheel count as pressed? Button mask 1 or 2. So we only want to register this event. Button index 1 or 2. We want to ignore the other events. And event is pressed. So almost here we want to do and events dot button index. Can we get button index? Let's look at the documents for that. Get button index GD scripts. Get mouse button index. Input event mouse button. Is that what we're looking at? Input event mouse button, yes. Right, on where devices rotary is detected that way, that's fine. Properties, mouse button. Button index. Mouse button get button index. Event dot get button index. Let's say if it's less than three, or less than or equal to 2. That should only be right and left click. What's button index 0 though? I don't know. Let's do 2. Let's do another and here, and events dot get button index is greater than 0. So now it shouldn't place units with when I scroll, because it was taking the scroll wheel and other buttons as possible inputs, which I don't like. Right, scroll is now doing nothing. Middle click, nothing. Other mouse buttons, nothing. Left click, fine. Right click. Right click also fine. I mean, I guess we only want left click really. Although we could fix it that right click is remove and left click is place. And then also we could change it so that that's configurable in an options menu. So this, rather than being checking it's a mouse button, getting the index, checking for the press, we could change this to specific inputs from our input map in our project settings. Yeah, that might be something to look into. Doesn't really matter just now, but this we can definitely get rid of. That's fine. Don't care about that. Okay. Seems okay. So we need to have a new thing to focus on. Let's say we do a short map. Let's say there's 4, 2, and 3. Right. 4. We're gonna fill up this bottom row, aren't we? 2 and 3. So now we need to check, is our dictionary correctly filled? 4, 2, and 3, that looks right. Column 7, 8, and 9 of row 3. Yep. Okay, that all looks good. So now we need to retie this back in, the units remaining. And also figure out that confirm button. So that's in our setup GUI, I think. Yeah, number of units remaining. So setup GUI. Let's close this. We don't need the unit at the moment. We don't need that. We don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. So this number of units. It's being driven by game state total units. So actually we can drive that, I think. So we can say just total units plus equals 1 here as well. And minus equals 1 when we dismiss. If it's less than 0, return 0. Otherwise that. So we just do that there. We'll handle the error separately, that's fine. So now is this going to count it properly? I think that should just work. That should be all right. So 3, 4, and 2 should be 9 units. 10 units. Why is it 10 units? 3, 4, and 2. Definitely 9. Does it start as 1 somewhere? Where are we setting that value as 1? It's got to be in the lobby, right? Number of units selected here. Here we go. So we don't want to drive this. We're actually not using this at all now. Because that is here where we're selecting a drop-down number of units. But actually we're just drafting them instead. This doesn't need to be a drop down now. This should just be a count. But anyway, let's just check. Let's do loads. So 15 should be. Haven't reset that. Needs to be reset to 0 each time as well. That's a good thing. So in our reset here, where's our reset? Clear grid. We also need to say number of units. Total units. Equals 0. Okay, let's do a small amount. 5, should be 5. That is 5. 1 infantry. Good. I think it was 3 mushrooms, wasn't it? And 1 bush. Why, when they're being placed, they're not being? Because this is commented out. And we've got to do it here. In that. And dictionary. This needs to be plus equals here. Almost there. Let's rebuild. And see how we're doing. Right, so 3, 5, and like 7. 15. That is good. 3 units. 7 of these. Can't place any more. Can take one off and place. This is not updating. We need to double check that. But then if we do 5 of these, do we get our confirm? We don't. Why not? Set up. Handle game updates. Ready? Connect handle game update. Are we calling updates? Where are we calling update? It's been disabled, that's why. Update.emit. In here, that should happen. Get rid of these now. They're all gone. Because we changed the signal, I think we need to rebuild. And then is that going to work properly? So let's just do a small amount. Let's do 2, 1, and 1. 4 units. 2. That's looking good. It's updating. 1 and 1. Now we can confirm. We remove 1. We still have to replace it. Okay. That is looking much better. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Kind of happy with where that is. I wonder if it's worth looking into some it's worth looking into Git for version control now, because this is like a status that I'm quite happy with, that is stable. We've split that, we don't need that anymore. Before I start breaking it again with a new feature. I feel like that's a full topic on its own. Godot version control. Does it have a recommended? It has a Git plugin. Godot aims to be version control system friendly to generate mostly readable and mergeable files. Also supports the use of version control systems in the editor itself. However, version control in the editor requires a plugin for the specific one you're using. There's only Git so far, but the community may create additional ones. Files to exclude. This list files and folders that should be excluded. The list is different for 4.0 and 3.0. Using Godot 3, that's fine. There are some files and folders Godot automatically creates when opening a project in the editor for the first time. To avoid bloating your version control repository with generated data, you should add them to your Git ignore. So the translation files in the Godot folder, okay. Working with Git on Windows. I mean, I've already got a Git account. That I can use for this. Oh, there's a commit window. Right, okay. Yeah, I need to have a look at this in more detail, but I might do that off stream. Or on, not on today's stream at least. Well, I'll figure out something else to do now. What we do now is possibly start looking at maybe moving our unit. So how do we do this? At the moment we've got, when we get to the game scene here, when we click on the unit, we're just changing the background tile. Or really, we're changing this movable tile, I think. So look in our play game map, movable tiles. Yeah, set cell. So, how are we going to do this? We almost want to loop over a number of tiles that we can change. What's going to be the best way to do that? So when we click on a unit, unit global position, what we get in on our output, unit clicks at this, gives the tile coords there. So let's get rid of this. We don't care about that. And we don't care about this. So var clicked cell, we're going to say, is equal to this. I'm going to place that there. No, click cell. And we're going to replace this with click cell. So we don't need all of this again. One extra this. Actually, we don't even need brackets around it, do we? Okay. That's fine. So what's calling show tile in range? That's the next thing. Display move tiles, show tile in range. Control Shift F. What's emitting this? The event bus is emitting this. From our unit script. So if you click on a unit, it's doing that. So maybe we want to have this as select and deselect. Kind of need to think about the whole process here. So we're gonna load up the map showing units on the board, and the player can click on a unit so each time you click around to a different unit, we kind of want movable tiles to clear. So that's the first thing, which is in map, right? So let's firstly do movable tiles clear. Let's just see. So now it should only be the one that you're selecting. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm not sure if it comes clearly across on stream, but there's like a slight green change to the tile selected. So then let's do a loop around. So for how much do we want to loop on this? Let's firstly look at what are our loop options. GG script loops. For or while loops. For NN8, using range. From 10 to 1. Yeah, I think we want for in loop, because then we can pass in, based on the unit type, we can change the movement patterns allowed. So for cells in, and let's just give it like this. Can we do? If so click cell dot x plus cells is greater than 0 or equal to 0. Then do this. Okay, there's a load more I need to do here. So I kind of want to sell, say, let's do a temp cell. Temp cell here. And temp cell equals vector 2i of this value and y, and we're going to color the temp cell. So let's just test that. It should do. Now let's figure out. We're doing x 1, 2, and 3, so it should be left and right of the cell that's selected. Yeah. It should only do the right of this one, but this one it will probably do the right here as well. Yeah. Because I'm not checking for the edge of the board yet. So that's looking good. So this needs to have like an and. Well, best way to do this is cell. No. So we want this less than game state dot max row, max column. So if it's less than 9 on a 9 by 9 grid, that means it has to be 0 to 8. Let's try that. So now wait, is that slash the wrong way? Is it game state here? Slash that way. No, slash the right way. Invalid access to property or key max col. Is it not called max col? It's not called max col. What's it called? Map calls? Map calls. That should be usable, that's fine. That's fine, that's fine. And now that's just doing left, that's just doing right. Okay, that's good. And then we also want to do the same loop for Y. So actually maybe we can just do here. Y map rows. Yeah, map rows. And then this is going to go here. Great. Okay. So if that's showing, show tiles in range, unit global position. So what would be good is if we pass in the unit type as well. When we call this, we can then access movement options based on the unit type. But that's complicating things. Let's leave this at the moment. And what I want to do is, while this is selected, we're going to be able to click on this to move to it. So need to have a think about that. So this we can just get rid of that, that's fine. I think we're going to have to start looking at kind of like a couple of state machines to run this then, to figure out what phase of our game we're in. I can tell that my concentration on this is starting to flag a little bit. But what's going to have to happen is, when you click on a unit, we then need to tell the game to start registering clicks on any movable tile. And also register which unit we've clicked on. So having these as buttons at the moment is probably not the best way to do this. We might have to do some map tracking, which is probably our dictionary, isn't it? Does that work? Let's see. If we have a look at our game state and look at our placed units. feel like we want to use our grid status. And what we're going to do instead, so there's a couple of options here. We could either update our place units string to show where the infantry, well, where the units moved to, and then also have to update that somewhere else to keep track of it. Yeah, let's do a quick break here. Quick stretch. Grab a coffee or whatever, grab some water. I just need to have a think about how I want this to happen. I think what we'd probably want to do is, along the lines of using the event bus, we will send a code to indicate which cell has been currently selected, and then, because I'm trying to think as well, eventually what's going to have to happen is each player is going to have to send a short string to explain the player's move to a server that can then verify that's a valid move, that the player's not cheating, and then it will have to respond to the player to determine what the result of that move was, and also to tell the opponent player what has occurred with that move. Because I want this to end up being a 1v1 human player setup. There has to be a server in the middle that determines what is actually happening, so that neither player can cheat, and also to protect both players' IP addresses and all that kind of stuff. So the way that that's going to have to handle movements and stuff like that is going to have to be a simple string setup, or simple code that gets transferred. Yeah, let's do a break. Let's have a little think in more detail about this, and we'll figure out what we're doing with that. So back in a few minutes. Let me have a little think before we continue and break everything. All right. Right. Let's have a look. Okay, where do we get to? We are now selecting our unit. So what I want to be able to do, show these selections. And what's calling this show tiles and range? So if we call this connect. And we search for this, where are we calling this? Calling this in unit. So what I might want to do instead, when we click on our unit, if we omit to we don't need to pass there. If we omit this to the game state that we have been clicked as a unit, and then let the game state handle that selection, and if it's to move the unit, then we can pass that back down to the map, and then the map can show the updated tile positions. Yeah, we almost need to now structure how these events are going to be passed around our game. Oh, sorry, I just realised I still got the back scene on. There we go. Yeah. I don't know if that's the game state. I don't really want to overload this script with, at the moment it's got like game data, it's like handling drafting of units, and also it's handling unit placements and stuff like that, whereas really what we need to end up with is very clear roles and responsibilities for each of the scripts that we're running, which I feel at the moment is getting overloaded. Well, not getting overloaded, but we'll do very soon. Because yeah, we're gonna basically have the option to move, scout and attack. We should be in the ready state once we've got to this. I don't want to get started on this without thinking about it properly, so there's two options. We can either get started on designing the flow of this, which might need to be in like Figma or something, which I think I want to set up in a bit more detail first before we get to that. Either that. Is there anything we can continue with today? I really thought this was going to take a lot longer to do the tracking stuff. I guess we still haven't done this packed array stuff. That might be what we look into. Yeah, okay, I prefer that. Let's do that. So when we select our grid size, we're getting the size and shape of the grid set. So map cols and map rows is something we know the size of. Yeah, we're really getting into territory where we need to figure out a bit more of the design of this. So what is our byte representation going to be for each cell of the grid? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So I do want to do something along the lines of Book of War in this. So a cell to represent whether or not a byte to represent whether a cell is visible or not. No, we're going to get one. I think we're going to get way more than these byte representations. So maybe we don't want a packed byte array. Maybe we want a packed int array. Or we make that decision later. Maybe we just want to say this is an array for the moment. And we can make a note here. Potentially use packed byte array to represent as a, and then we'll continue on to the next line, byte representation for each cell of the grid. Now do like e.g. bit 0 can represent cell visible or covered in fog. Okay, so that note should work for the time being. So when we create a grid, we're going to say grid status for row in map rows, for col in map cols, grid status col row. Can I do that? Equals empty string. So let's do that for the moment. And then when we handle unit placed, we're also going to say here equals this. And when we remove it, here, I'm going to say this is an empty string. We have a clear array function. Yes, clear. Equivalent using resize set to 0. Let's just do clear though. Needed dot. Okay. Oh, we need to clear this as well, don't we? Place units. Is there a dictionary clear? Yep. Clear, placed units. I'm doing this for the moment because there might be more functionality that we want to add into these. But this could just be single line entries. Semicolon. Okay, let's see, is that all working as expected? So now when we check on our remote game state, this grid status currently size 0 and the place units is that's fine. So those are still the case. Let's do a 9 by 9. We'll take a few of these, we'll take a few of these. So now this should be set, right? Are we not calling, we're not calling the function, are we? Create grid, where are we not calling this? No. So not when set map is called. But when this is run. When the game state changes. So really, we shouldn't be setting this outside the game state either. So that's going to be quite a useful function here. It's going to be function change game state, and this should take in new state of type game phase. Game phase? Yes. And we should change current state equals new state. Now really, this is going to have to be a match on our new state. And if it is game phase dot ready. Is that not how it works? And then set grid or create grid, is it? Yeah. And actually this should be based on current state. If this is set up, and then almost we're going to want a match there. So new state equal to game phase dot ready. Then we do this, otherwise it's incorrect. We shouldn't be going to the ready state. We shouldn't be going to a different phase. But that's fine for the moment. We're not going to handle all the phase changing and all that kind of stuff. That's a whole state machine there that we need to figure out. So now, is that going to work? If we go here and create this, when we click start game, no, we're not sending it, are we? Lobby. So rather than doing this, we want to do game state.set state. Isn't it? What did I just call it? Change game state to setup. No. Wait, was that wrong anyway? No, that was right. Because we're going to the setup phase. What state are we starting in? Current state. So let's add lobby to this. And then to start with, I'm ready. Current state equals game phase dot lobby. And then if it's on lobby, and this is setup, we create the grid. Okay. Getting the early stages of a state machine for the full play phases started. Yeah, I think we need to restart. Rerun to let that action. Okay, so if we look at our game state, current state 0, which is lobby. We draft some units and we click start game. No. Invalid access of index 0 with type array. Yeah. So let's do it like this. Do this and this. And we can also do grid status col equals empty array. Because I think it's getting annoyed that we're mapping into an empty space. So that should maybe work. No, on base with type array. Let's just do that then. See if that works. Okay, let's look at the array docs. We've missed something here. We need to append. Might need to resize. Where are we doing that here? So grid status dot resize to col rows map cols. Let's try that. See if we're now going to the next step. If we're now erroring on this row, then that's a bit of progress. I'm expecting this still to be an error. Yeah, okay, that's good. So, how do I set the size, initialize size of array? Oh, it looks like you can't initialize the size, you have to resize it. What? I mean, we can do that, but that seems odd to me. Actually, we don't need to loop over that. We can just do fill. Like this. So we do this. Got fill. Like that. See what that does. Okay, didn't error. We now have a grid of array 9. 9 by 9 grid. And then, okay, so this is going to be 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 6. So we look at array 3, 6, we have our infantry. Good. And if we clear it, does it clear it? Yes. Okay, that looks good. I kind of want to tackle this like placing a unit on top of an existing unit. So in our map, when we've placed the unit, we can just return false. Which would just be here. So let's do this as an and. And before we do that, we want to say if place units that has dictionary key backslash, and we want it to be to not have it. So we're saying if the dictionary isn't already in our placed units, so if the cell that we're clicking on is not already in our placed units, then we can place the unit. Otherwise we ignore it and we say you can't place here and we don't do anything. So let's rebuild that. See if that works. We need to do a lot more like error handling side of things at some point, but that's fine. Let's do just the default map. We'll do a couple of those. So 5 units. If I click on the same spot, it just removes it. Perfect. That's what we were missing. And I can't place another unit on top. Okay. So the next thing to change is this music. 1 second. I need to take that whole album out. I think I added a load of like String Beats albums, and there's one there that's a bit like, it's great as like hype music and stuff like that. If it was countdown for like a big event live stream kind of thing, fair enough. But for like day-to-day programming, it's a bit too hype. Okay, so we need a better UI here that shows like the various types of units that you can still place. Almost similar to the first page, to have like select units to place. Because we could have the unit and the number remaining. Rather than the drop down. But at the moment this is working, right? This grid. So let's say if we look at our grid, place units, we have column 1 row 6 is an infantry unit, yes. Column 6 row 5, column 5 row 7, column 5 row 5 is a mushroom, column 3 row 5 is the bush, and column 3 row 7 is a mushroom. That all looks good. Now, does our array have matching data? So let's look at column 5 should have mushroom in 5 and infantry in 7. Yeah. Column 3 should have 2 as well. Bush in 5. Yes. And mushroom in 7. Yeah. Okay, that looks like it's working right. So the next thing we could do is maybe look at the UI. So rather than doing it like this, we could copy what we've got in the lobby, which is this grid container. We kind of want to put it on this side. And the number of units, maybe we just hide for the moment. I'm kind of thinking we might need to look into a bit more detail into the design. It keeps on circling around to this. I'm trying to find things to fix, but this deselection double placing is now fixed. The unit selection is now fixed. We're even getting like movement indication. That looks pretty good. And I'm not going to go into more unit design now. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to wrap there. What we've managed to do today is we have corrected, well, we figured out what the whole issue was with the dictionary. So the dictionary in the inspector was displaying incorrect information. We've updated this so that we now have a drop-down list of maps, and we can change our map size based on the map selected. Our selection of units works correctly. We can place it on different maps at different locations. These count correctly for the amount of units that are left. We can't overlap units anymore. We have the ability to move into the game state and select units and show tiles around it selected. It's been quite a bit of progress actually. So I think we might come back in a bit. I'm going to stop and go and get some food. But we might come back a bit later and do some more pixel art. We were doing... I wonder if I've got an image of it. We were doing a little pixel art scene for... where it is... Streaming assets? No. Pixel art. Pixel practice. Here we go. So we're doing like a little medieval village scene kind of thing. So I might do a little stream of that later on. We'll continue on this and do a little bit more development on this. See how we get on with that. So maybe in like 2 or 3 hours time, after I've had some food and had a bit of a stretch, and I think. So if that sounds interesting, please feel free to join then. Thanks to everyone who's been lurking and chatting. Again, there's Discord if you want to keep up to date. I try and schedule the streams in advance on YouTube, so you get an advance notice of what time the stream's going to start. If you want to do that, please consider subscribing on YouTube or following here on Twitch if you just want to get the notifications when I go live. Hope that's all good. I don't think there's anything else. I'm going to try and raid into someone here. Let's see who we got. Zimni still doing Stonekeeper? Looks like it. How much longer? Yeah, looks like it's still streaming. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna head over to them then. Can I do this? Yeah. All right, and yeah, if you're interested in some pixel art, we'll be back later with some of that. Thanks everyone, and see you soon. They're playing a bit of Domekeeper, so we'll go over to Zimni now. Cool, and then do this. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.